So redox stoichiometry is a method used to determine the concentration of solutions that are typically used in electrochemical reactions. So typically we use two strong oxidizing agents in redox stoichiometry. We use MnO4- as it is a strong oxidizing agent in an acidic environment, and it's deep purple. As it gets reduced to Mn2+, it goes either a very pale pink or colorless depending on the concentration. The other excellent oxidizing agent we use is the dichromate ion. It starts off as an orangey brown color and changes to a pale yellow color as it gets reduced. Both of these are great because they're colored and they are strong oxidizing agents. The method used is titration, and if you recall, titration involves a titrant, and the titrant is the material that goes in the burette. And in this case, we're using permanganate. It is a strong oxidizing agent, and it is colored purple. Again, as it is reduced, it changes color, as you can see by this picture on the left. Dichromate was our other example we could use in titration. And during the titration, when we have our color change that stays, the volume required to reach that is called the equivalence point. Anytime we use these strong oxidizing agents, we have to standardize their concentration or determine their concentration. Permanganate solution will decompose organic matter in water, so its concentration will change. So before we use permanganate, we need to determine its concentration or standardize it. So we typically standardize permanganate solution with what is called a primary standard. And a primary standard is a solution that has a known concentration that will not change during the reaction. So the setup for the redox titration involves a burette stand, a burette, and an Erlenmeyer flask. And typically we put the permanganate in the burette, and we put the sample, which is the reducing agent, in the Erlenmeyer flask. When we titrate and we need to read the burette, remember to read the bottom of the meniscus and read to 2 decimal places. So the example here is 25.68. We always estimate the last decimal place here. And when you read a burette, put your eye directly at the level with the bottom of the meniscus, or you will encounter parallax errors. So to summarize, when you do your titration, remember to read to 2 decimal places when you're looking at your burette. You need to have 3 trials that are all within 0.2 milliliters of each other. Even better, aim for 0.1 milliliters between each other. And if you're going to use a strong oxidizing agent, you need to standardize the permanganate first because its concentration changes over time. Here is a typical example of some data from a redox titration. So if we take a look at the evidence, we've got 4 trials completed. You always have your final burette reading at the top, your initial burette underneath, so it allows for easy subtraction. The volume of the oxidizing agent is the difference of the two, and we have 3 readings here at the end, 2, 3, and 4, that are all within 0.2 of one another. The first one is called an overshoot, and it went a dark pink. That's what that says there, a dark pink color, and so we disregarded it. It just gave us our ballpark figure. We finally take the average of the 3 good trials and we write it below the table to 2 decimal places, noticing they're all within 0.2 of each other.